Greetings and welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. I'm your host, Dr. G, and I'm so glad that you could keep our appointment. Tonight, I have an exciting show. I know you're going to want to grab your pencil and your paper or pen and paper and take notes. Now, XtreamFX Global Academy is the first minority-owned decentralized Forex and crypto academy. This program will allow you to earn maximum profits in two very lucrative industries while generating income for your community. The emphasis is on financial literacy. Ownership is the main focus and is the key to generational wealth. There's no age limit when it comes to success, so everyone is welcome in Extreme. We have a program for the youth called XtreamFX Young Guns, program which stands for Generation Under New Zeal. Not only is XtreamFX focused on the next generation, they also have a program called the XtreamFX Seniorpreneurs, which is designed specifically for our seniors ages 50 and up. The goal of XtreamFX is to produce financially literate business owners globally while creating over 1,000 legends or millionaires over the next 12 to 36 months. A legend in this company makes upwards of $100,000 a month, which is paid out weekly. Because the founders are social entrepreneurs, the program is focused on solving social issues by restoring hope through action. Tonight, I am pleased to have with me the founders of XtreamFX, and I'd like to welcome them to the show. I think we will be joined by one more, but I'd like to welcome Megan Lynch, Ragan Lynch, and Adrian Sloan. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. So here's what we do here. We rock a little bit. If the music is still playing when I finish reading the promo, everybody kind of has to rock. Okay. There you go. You got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dr. G, I am so excited and so happy to have you all on the show. And in just a few seconds, my music will stop so that we can talk about this very, 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 very exciting program that you have developed. Again, welcome, and hopefully Jacob will also join us. There we go. Well, I got some of the busiest folk on the planet right here with me tonight. You are in for a treat, especially those of you who have wanted to get involved in something to bring resources and finances into your personal life and into that of your community, but you didn't want to get all entangled in that stuff. The answer is right here. And I'm going to start off with one of the founders. There's four founders of this exciting program. Megan Lynch, welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about this program that you all have developed that I'm excited about.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. G, for having us. First of all, we're excited just to be on your show. And I'm glad that we got a chance to really connect and talk probably for about an hour. So that was great, just really to figure out what you're doing in this amazing community. But my name is Megan Lynch. I actually am born in and raised in a small town. And my twin sister, as you can see, she's out there as well. We've been entrepreneurs for a while. So started teaching high school for about 14 years. And ventured into the entrepreneurial world. And the great thing is that we kind of all came together as magnets for this program with our different skill sets. And we're just excited to have started XtreamFX Global and really just truly be able to connect with people all over the world. So it is the first decentralized platform. So we're excited to be able to bring it to the world.
Could you tell us a little bit more about XtreamFX Global? And exactly. I mean, I know you don't want to tell us everything because everybody's on here, but how recent has this venture developed?
Well, the great thing is we're running like we've been around for about 3 years. But the great thing is that we actually are fairly new to the platform, but not new to the industry. Most of us have been in the networking industry for many years, or we ventured into the Forex space as well. So the great thing is that our program is relatively new, but we were working together for over a year on another Forex platform. So in January, the end of 2020, we decided to venture into our own platform, and it just really truly blossomed. About 35,000 people opted into our program in our first 7 days, which is just
35,000 in 7 days.
35,000. We just put our superpowers together, and we're global. So in over 100+ different countries, we were able to reach far and wide. No age limit in this program. So anyone who really truly wants to learn financial literacy and wants to become more financially literate, this is going to be the perfect program for them. So we're just excited to see where we go in the next 7 years, if we could do 35,000 people coming into the program in 7 days. And we're just excited about everything that we have to offer the community.
All right. Well, now, Reagan, we'll go to the next twin. Reagan, you also have a background in education. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what role you play with XtreamFX?
Yes, most definitely. So thank you, Dr. G, for having us on. We're so super excited just to be a part of what you're doing and supporting the community. So my background in education, I had helped my mother. She opened up her own daycare. So I actually ran the daycare with her for 7 years. I've worked in the school system as well, substitute teaching, just to be with my kids, be on the same schedule as them. And when I found entrepreneurship and a platform like ours, we've created such an amazing platform, but we've built our way up to this. But I really wanted to be an entrepreneur so I could really have more time with my kids. So that's why I went into the education field, and was just really excited about helping kids anywhere from 3 years old all the way up to high school kids. And now my kids are from 24 down to 2. So it kind of came in handy for me. But my role with XtreamFX is head of customer relations. So I just believe in building relationships with people, just like all of the founders do. But I do have a background. I worked customer service for 20 years, and it really helped me just learn how to listen to people, learn how to problem solve. And I do a lot of that with our teams. Anything that they have to ask me, I usually say I'll know 99% of the time, or I'll find the answer. So that's why my name on there is Ask Reagan, because I just want people to feel comfortable. If they don't know something, we're on an educational platform, and knowing that they can come to us as the founders, knowing they can come to me as head of customer relations, and that we're going to take care of them.
That's amazing. Someone asked the question in the chat, what exactly is financial literacy? Adrian, do you want to tackle that one?
All right, I guess that's my cue.
Before you tackle that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Adrian Sloan. I'm the local janitor of XtreamFX Global Academy. Oh man, my job, guys. I'm the CFO of XtreamFX Global Academy. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on the platform for just a moment with you guys. But my job is to help orchestrate the growth and trajectory of the company to make sure we financially sound. I kind of coined the phrase "protect the house" in Extreme. And it's really about us making sure we have a long-term sustainable model. A lot of people go in business and they don't really have the end in mind. My goal was always to make sure that we're healthy. That's my background. I'm a third generation business owner. My grandfather was in business. My dad, the youngest at 12. And so I've been around business my entire life. I have dozens of companies I'm a partner on or own. So I've been around building companies and money for a long time. And so I take pride in my job in the company just to make sure that we're healthy, right? We have a lot of people across the world. We paid over $500,000 out to the community in the pandemic in 3 weeks. That's pretty serious, to be a company that's around in a shorter period of time that we are. That's my whole goal. So our financial literacy piece and making sure people are, financially aware is just having the knowledge to respect money. But if it's something that's never taught to you, it's something that you wouldn't know. So we can't say common sense is common for everybody. just like we can't say financial literacy is literate to everybody. So we have to teach it. So what we pride ourselves in our academy is go down to the common denominator of making sure people understand credit, making sure they understand insurance, make sure they understand the foreign exchange, you know, the difference of that in the stock market. We have great teachers that's on our platform that has come forth to be able to help instruct our members and our students in that direction. Because our job, you know, we want to make sure that we are building a wholesome entrepreneur, not just a person who understands foreign exchange, but rather a person that understands entrepreneurship and finance as an entirety. And so we can impact the household with a financial doctrine from the parents to the children, that we understand that we can create generational wealth for a long time. And that's the life I've been able to live. You know, my children is in that space because I was in that space. So we take pride in that, doing that for every single member that's a part of our community, is to teach financial literacy all the way abroad.
Well, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing from a standpoint of, you know, we still haven't really told the listeners exactly what's going on. Oh, but yes, the question. Well, you did say what financial literacy is, yeah. But from a standpoint, I know a lot of Moors, you'll say money. I know before you say it, but you know. We might be talking about we're probably talking about the right kind of money here, because we know what fiat is. We know fiat currency, but XtreamFX is dealing in a totally different venue when it comes to money. And that's what makes it so exciting. A couple things make it exciting. Oh, okay. We've been how you doing, Mr. Mickel?
Hey. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Glad that you can join us. This is the fourth founder. There are four founders of XtreamFX. Mr. Jacob Mickel has joined us. And well, before I get into my little, you know, I don't want to talk a lot because I know you all have at 9 o'clock and some of you have something at 8 o'clock to do. But I want you to tell us about you, a little bit about you and your background and what you do with XtreamFX and how the folks that are listening can get, you know, why it's something that they might want to consider and get in on the ground floor now.
Get in because we tell you to get in. That's the reason why you should get in. Wow. You heard from my partners, man. My background is banking. You know, I went to college on a track scholarship, took advantage of that. Came out of college, went straight into banking, stayed in that for about 9-10 years. Now I'm running consulting, and now I consult banks. And I've been in this industry of network marketing now for 24 and a half years. You know, this year I will go over $10 million in the industry. You know, that's a blessing. You know, I had some great training. And my job with the company is I'm the VP of Global Sales. I want to make sure that the field is good. Megan and I, we share this role a lot. And I want to make sure the field is good and make sure that we bring in good, healthy business where people like Adrian Sloan can definitely pay it out, right? We just want to get out here and grind and make sure that we bring in the right people. And that's why we call ourselves the Ivy League, because everybody can't do business the way that we're doing business at Extreme. And matter of fact, we're trendsetters. People are going to really realize in about the next 6 months, the whole industry of network marketing going to realize the way we do business, everybody's going to start wanting to do business the way that we are. That's why we know we're innovators, trendsetters, visionaries, all sitting right here, all with the four of us right here today, man. We are excited about what we have our hands on. And we built this thing about we building family, not just a team. One thing about teams, so you can leave this team and go to another team, right? That's just like the Boston Celtics. You can be traded to the Atlanta Hawks. But one thing about building a family, you can get kicked out of the family. You can be, you don't talk to that family member for 20 years, but guess what? You're still a part of the family. So when you join Extreme, you know, you're a part of a family. That's why we call ourselves the common unity.
Well, that's awesome. That's amazing. And it's just good to, you know, when I saw what you are doing and I you know, listened to the videos and, you know, I did some other things and I had just done something else, as a matter of fact, recently. And I was like, dang, why didn't I just, you know, anyway, things happen like that. But when I have been on the calls, I've been done, some of the saw some of the innovation that, with the other site, hackers and whatever that's, am I calling it right thing? Is it hackers? Am I miscalling it? I don't know. You all are. Let me see. I got you muted, or did I mute you? Did you mute yourself?
There we go. We're
yeah. Okay. Let me get you unmuted. Yeah, I was on a training, and I was just so impressed. Yeah, because you all are. Yeah, I was impressed by that that software. I guess it wasn't is it software or is it a program?
Oh, on Telegram. So we were actually on a Zoom. So we do a lot of things with Zooms. You can also go into the back office on our platform, and that really, how our platform is set up, really protects our community, because we have so many young people on our platform that sometimes when you're going to these outside programs like the Zooms and things like that, anybody can jump on those Zooms, like the hackers and things of that nature. So our back office is set up internally. So when you want to learn here in Extreme, number one, we're in a space where you don't necessarily have to use fiat currency. So we're teaching the crypto space. We're teaching people how to get into a market that we were really once left out of. So now that everyone has a cell phone, everyone has technology, there's really no excuse for why people can't leave generational wealth to their family, other than the fact that they just maybe don't know that the knowledge and the education is there. So that's what we're doing. We're just bringing the number one money-making industry on the planet to the world. And in this industry, which is the Forex industry, anyone can learn how to trade currencies, whether that be you're trading gold or you're trading silver or whatever else it is that you want to get involved in. You don't necessarily just have to be in the fiat currency. We're also in the crypto space as well. And a lot of people just don't know how to get involved in these spaces. So those are the types of things that, being in our community, that you're going to definitely learn.
So actually, I was on I think it was an opportunity call. I want to say it was either yesterday or a cheat.
Christian Chi.
She did that class, and it was really, that presentation, it was absolutely amazing. He actually literally showed how he had gone into a Sam's Club, and he showed the price. He's doing it right there on live, and he sees the price of the TV, and then he opens up his app on his phone, and I guess is that in Forex, and he, I guess, made a decision as to how much he needed, and he let us see as the price in a matter of, as folks, I like the fact that he says that most people work for hours. They work 40 hours a week, or for every 2 weeks, 80 hours to get XYZ dollars. He showed that you could do that in a matter of minutes through Forex trading. Now, I'd heard about Forex before. I have a spiritual daughter in Chicago who sits at the computer all day and does that. And she was trying to get me involved. And I was like, no. I mean, like, I'm going to be 66 in a few weeks. So I'm like, my brain is like, but I'm glad that this has like a senior thing. So like, right. But at the time, it's like, Tony, I don't have time to do that. I don't have the energy or the attention span to do that. But when I saw his presentation, and I realized that what XtreamFX offers is the training from young people all the way up to and through seniors. You've left no one out. And I want to say, and first of all, I should have said this before, if you're on this call and you have not click share and like, and let somebody else know, they need to hear about this, because one of the most exciting things to you Moors that you need to know, those of you who have claimed your nationality, is that when you're in this environment, if you want to sign up as with your free national name, and you don't have to put a EIN or social security in this space, because tell us what does it mean to be decentralized?
All right. Reagan, do you want to take it, or Adrian? Or I could jump on in there. I feel like I'm the one I'm always running my mouth, so I try to
Well, I did want to go back to what Dr. G said really quick before we get into the decentralized definition. You said you're 60 something years old. So I do want to give a shout out to our mom. She's 60 something. I won't say it, but we're 42. So I'm like, they know you're somewhere around there. But she is so excited on our platform. So like you were talking about people of all ages being able to come into the program. And that's the exciting thing, because my mom is so excited. She's trading, she's trading Forex, she's on the calls, she's on the live sessions. She's gets excited. She gets on Adrian's calls and gets all fired up. Jacob fired her up yesterday. So with the age, like this is the age to really be able to do this, because you have time. you got time to sit a little bit, get up early with your coffee, and she's trading early in the morning. She is excited about our new product that's coming, which I'm sure Megan will talk about. But this truly is a platform for everyone. So I did want to throw that out there since we were talking about our seniorpreneurs. So go ahead, Megan.
And two, just to piggyback that, any income is great income. And in the Forex market, it's $7 trillion a day up for grabs in the market. So like Reagan said, when you take anyone for that matter, I have a 19-year-old son who's making upwards to about $20,000 a month without a high school diploma. He's actually working on that right now. But oftentimes when our young people are in traditional schools, they're not really taught finances. So when they grow up to be seniors, it's just kind of conditioned to just go to work and make your money that way. And nothing wrong with a job, but if there's an opportunity to be able to add, like our mother, an extra $24,000 to her yearly income, she did that in about a week, bringing in a couple $1,000s extra a month. That's really life-changing for a lot of people. And the great thing is that we want to know where you are in your life, and then we'll take you where we need you to go. And then being in a decentralized platform, I believe it's really big for seniors, because a lot of times seniors are forced into a box where they can only make so much money. They're afraid of losing their Social Security, or they're afraid of losing things that has kind of trapped them, to be honest, has trapped them into a certain lifestyle. And now being in a decentralized program, you can really control your own money when you're in a crypto space, when you're dealing in, gold, and you're dealing in different types of currencies. It really gives you an opportunity to just be free and to really truly choose a lifestyle that you want to live, and not necessarily fit into this box that oftentimes our young people are put in with their traditional education, and our seasoned folks are put in when they're forced to kind of just do what everybody else is doing and just take what they give you. So I'm just excited for my mother, because she doesn't have to just accept the lifestyle they believe she can have. She can really create her own income, and we'll focus on where you are right now, and then take you where we believe that you can go in the program.
And that's amazing, because you have, even for people that may be afraid of venturing into it. First of all, I didn't know, I got a little bit of an education that Forex, that things like the stock market and the stock, those exchanges are inside of the foreign exchange, if I'm correct, because the Forex, which I didn't know that it was short for foreign exchange. It's the all-encompassing global financial sort of thing that's and I've learned that at almost 66. So and I it stuck. And it's like, okay, I was afraid of something, but this is the thing. A lot of times we are afraid to venture into these areas. And another thing that she said that was very really touching to me is when he talked about how we limit ourselves, like you just said it too, but the limitations of what, we deal with these little crumbs on, sort of like I took it on the outside, when whoever they are, they're not toiling and pulling their hair out and getting, dirty for a little bit every week, but they're sitting there with their investments into these other markets that we don't know about, and that we feel that we don't have a right to get in that, to be in the playing field. What you all are doing, I believe, is leveling the playing field, opening up the way, if you will, for everyone at any age, at any, whatever station in life they might be, to be able to come in, and you don't have to know anything. You just have to be willing to learn. And I like that you have even a program where you can cut and paste other people's what they're doing. I may be calling it the wrong thing.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Copy paste is important.
Copy paste.
Yeah, copy paste is important because people are busy. So we're dealing with mothers and fathers. We're dealing with single parents. We're dealing with people who have jobs. And I always say, until we can work you off your job, learn how to just follow the traders. If they already know what they're doing and they've analyzed the market, it's not something where you will definitely just learn these things overnight. But Reagan's son, if you want to speak about him, and Adrian has the Young Guns program that we've attached ourselves to as well. But we have 10-year-olds in the program. So I always say, if you have a desire to want to learn, one of our 10-year-olds, Zahara, she goes to school and she does about 2 hours of Forex education and videos and getting into the market, and she's 10. And she will tell you in a minute, note takers are the money makers. So as long as you're ready to learn, then you absolutely can. Reagan's son is in his 20s, learning how to trade as well.
Yeah, he's really excited. He's been trading for a few years, but I'm really excited because all of us are. I mean, we love Forex, and we when we were looking for an opportunity before we really knew that we just needed ownership, we always looked at companies that had Forex education because we know how powerful it is. Adrian came over here, and I'm really excited about Adrian's growth. He's going to be the master trader of the founders for sure. So Adrian, if you want to talk about just your journey as a trader, it's been phenomenal. I've watched it, and it really has been a short period of time. And he's kind of addicted to learning. So if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I will. So the journey's a journey. Like my background, again, financial advisor for over a decade and a half. But that's in stocks, insurance, investments. The foreign exchange is a whole different market. And just going back to decentralized versus non-decentralized in that conversation, decentralized is technology, right? It's a whole different technology market that currencies move in, right? A centralized market is deal more with banks, and going through SEC, FTC, those type of, government regulated institutions. And so when you're dealing in cryptocurrencies and decentralized, it's more it's technical, whereas investors to investors, right? Dealing direct in that blockchain direction, which is the new wave of digital currency. And so being in a Forex space, and for us to be able to have that ability to deal in the foreign exchange, where it's going to be from country to country versus company to company, is how we learn stocks in America. And so when you look at, a $7 trillion a day industry versus a $257 billion a day industry, no one ever afforded us the knowledge to understand that we should have been looking globally versus just looking internally. Because most people come here to the United States of America for what? An opportunity, right? And they come from other countries because our economy is such a strong economy, but our economy is not where all the money is. You follow me? And that's the part.
Well, it's not as strong as it used to be.
and it's not. And that's even greater, right? For us today to be in a global aspect, right? Because it's not just about the US. You follow me? It's about countries abroad. And so what I wanted to do, not just learning insurance and investments and stocks that I have been taught to do in the past. When I started learning the foreign exchange market, I understood there was more money there. And so when I started looking at currency pairs and I got inside our academy, I went through our academy 3 times, and went back and forth, and I watched the video. So I tell any student, when we went through the 8 days of trading, me and Chi put that together. I remember when me and Chi got together, who you were just speaking so fond of. Chi's a great guy. Shout out to Chi and Chrissy. What's up, family? And so we was talking for a little bit, and we were trying to create a process that most of our students can go through with simplicity. Because let's just be honest, in the Black and brown community, we've been intimidated by knowledge of money because it wasn't taught to us. So we were shunned from it, and we didn't know it. So money is intimidating. So what we wanted to do is create a process that our people could go through without being intimidated, where we can take steps and increments. And so we call it the 8 days of trading because on one day, okay, you're going to do an hour and a half. Let's set up the MT4. Okay, day 2, let's show you how to copy and paste the signal. Now you're trading. So once people activate and they learn that, hey, I can do it, like you were just getting excited, said cut and paste, copy and paste. What is it? It's something that I do, and I follow people to make money. See, as long as you can say that, right, then you know that you're actually doing something. You can get excited about doing something. See, what we want to get people excited about is about doing, because we haven't been doing for so long. If we get you to do and to activate, that's the first part of success, like stepping in the right direction. So we're getting people from thinking about and being intimidated of how tough it is to copy and pasting and doing it. Day 2, guess what? You're doing it. You're trading. People get so excited, and it be monopoly money. We on a demo account, right? But we're getting excited because we're doing. Then day 3, you learn about a beginning of trading and terminology. In day 4, and so when you finish that 8 days of trading, you can look up and say, man, I know what MT4 is. I have a broker account. I'm trading. And that's what I did. I took myself through the elementary 1 + 1 = 2. And I took away all my knowledge of the industry. And I sat down as a student humbly to go through the process. And so once I got the foundation together, so when I'm talking to any of our students, even to our babies that's 8, 9, 10 years old, and they put some of our adults to shame, because it's like, sit your butt down and learn, right? And this is what the kids is doing. They're sitting down and they're learning. And that's so beautiful to me, because it shows we all can do it. We all can do it, right? We can sit still for 30 minutes, an hour. If people are like, I'm too busy. I'm like, busy doing what? Are you busy getting ahead or staying behind? Like, which one are you doing? You're busy getting ahead or staying behind, because we've been behind for too long as a generation and as a people. So we can't just keep being too busy. You know what I mean? You need to sit your butt down and go day 1, day 2, day 3, and give yourself 8 days to get the fundamentals down pat. Then go through the academy. And so we end up building a syllabus that takes a person through in 4 to 5 weeks. They can just bite off little bits. And then we have live sessions. So now they can start applying. Okay, I took an action. I copy, I paste. Now I can get on a live session and I can watch somebody do it real time. See, now we can have application. See, our academy is a process. A person can go through a process incrementally in each step of their learning curve. And that's what got me excited. So then I started to realize that I could do it. So it's easy to teach it once you've done it, right? And this is what we want to do for our community. We want our community to understand we all can do it, so we can set a wildfire in our community, and we can help more families have a 6-figure ownership, and more people be able to have more generational wealth. You follow me? In the Black and brown community, because that's what we need to do. It's statistically proven that African Americans is the lowest income in threshold in the country. So why would we stand in that place where knowledge is freely given, and we can go day 1, day 2, day 3, and we can get it and copy and paste or cut and paste or whatever we want to call it, and pass that information along, right? Guess what's going to happen, y'all? Everybody will get excited because we're doing. See, it's too much talking about learning and getting ahead financially, but it's not enough doing. So what XtreamFX Academy does, we simplified the process that everybody can learn how to get into the $7 trillion market a day. So we can't say you can't make $100. You can't make $500. Like, come on now. It's $7 trillion a day. So you mean to tell me you ain't gonna at least get 500 to 1,000 a day out of 25 days out of the month? You easily can pay your mortgage, your rent. You easily can send your child to college. You easily can get the dream home that you want easily if you go through 8 days and build on your foundation. So it's something that we all could be excited about. And I am going to be that master trader, because I'm not going to let $7 trillion a day pass me by. And I'm looking around and everybody else making billions of dollars, and the banks is making billions of dollars, and we can make billions of dollars if we just apply ourselves, family. So I believe everybody can do it, but you just got to go through the process, be humble with it. It's one thing that I learned about money, and I'll pass this back, that money's it's in the mind. You know what I mean? Like the money is in our mind, it's in our thought process. I always say money is in the mind, then it goes to your pocket, because the knowledge is in your mind. So we can give you the recipe to chef up wealth, and you can produce that to feed your family for life. The only thing stopping you from learning the recipe is reading it. And so because knowledge was here from us for so long where they didn't want our people to read, now we can read anything and people too busy to learn. So I think we need to slow down and start reading the recipes of success and the recipes of wealth, because it's in front of us now. So we can't be too busy to read when we got beat for trying to read. Now we can read and we too busy to learn. So I think we got to change our mindset and take advantage of this opportunity at XtreamFX Global Academy, because the only thing we're trying to do is give people the secrets of the wealthy, because it's not here anymore. Now you just got to take time to read it. Back to you, Dr. G.
Let me just throw this out there to anyone to answer with regard to all of the talk that's going on about global resets and Jacera and Nasera and all that. How do those things, if at all, affect what XtreamFX Academy is offering and doing?
Well, I just want to add, you have to remember that we're in the educational space. So a lot of times I want you to, and I'm not saying that those things are not about to happen, but do you remember when there was that Y2K and all of these things that people were so afraid of? And really that was just an opportunity for people to get educated on technology and how things are going to change. So when you're talking about the global resets, it will affect the currencies. But the sad reality is that if people don't educate themselves on what's going on right now, before this reset happens, it's not going to matter anyway. If you don't have any money to reset,
right, it won't matter.
It doesn't even matter. You know, I was able, and I'm so very passionate about this because, you know, we've watched kids die in the streets. When I was teaching high school, I watched these kids just try to figure it out. And they were dying every year in the streets, trying to figure things out, trying to make as much money as possible. But then you have the adults who are saddened by this, but they're not teaching the young people how to make this legitimate money. And right now everybody's afraid of this reset and how is it going to affect the money? And again, if you don't have any, it doesn't matter anyway. You don't understand the currencies right now. You don't understand the banking system right now. Most people don't. You don't understand how the stock market and the Forex market. If I talk to people, and the founders can attest to this, if I say Forex, 99% of the people don't even know what I'm talking about, have no idea. And 100% of the people are in the foreign exchange market. If you buy a car, if you put gas in your car, if you do anything that has to do with money, you're participating in the foreign exchange market. You're just not being positively affected by it. So right now, instead of people being afraid of what might happen or what's getting ready to happen, you better start getting yourself prepared for what's happening today. What's going on in your homeland security right now? Homeland security is in your own house and your home economy. What's going on in your home economy? Because if there is an opportunity to invest in something, are you even going to have the money to do it? Right? If there is a reset of currencies, is it going to matter if you have no currency? So right now, we just really have to be focused on gathering up the knowledge, you know, being squirrels and gathering up as much as possible so that you understand what direction to go in when these resets and things like that do occur.
And knowledge is power. You know, we need to know things. And a lot of times people are overtaken by the fact that they're ignorant to what's going on. And so you're right. It's not enough to know that these things possibly are looming on the horizon, but to be prepared in the event that they do, or the eventuality that they do occur, is another thing entirely. And you're right about the old folks used to say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So, you know, and nothing from nothing leaves nothing. But if you have just a small investment into your education. A lot of folks are home now because of, you know, what's happened, you know, over the last year and a half or so, almost a year and a half, what we've been going through. It's a perfect time for someone to take stock of, maybe even if they say, well, I have less now than I had then. But if you have something, even if say a husband and a wife or a family, they want to educate themselves and their children. How I know, you know, the fee for, you know, the membership and so forth. So how would someone who says, you know, hey, I really would like to learn about this, but, you know, I've got 4 children and only one of us is working. And I mean, if somebody, opens up their computer and their child is looking over their shoulder, or their spouse, they still are getting the benefit of the knowledge, I'm assuming, or maybe, but getting the children involved. That's what I was thinking about in terms, you just spoke about young people dying in the streets. And I was thinking about, as you all were talking, this is what do you call it? This is clean clean earnings, right? This is not the stuff you got to look over your shoulder, stash it under, in the mattress and all of that stuff. This is stuff that, I'm thinking all these young bloods out here with their pants down to their butts, standing on the corners and slinging and whatever. If they could learn this kind of finance, they're doing business, just the wrong kind of business. And to get, young men and young women, because they're doing it too now, to see that there's an easier way that would even bring in more than what they have, and it'll bring it in with good conscience. It wouldn't be competition. Maybe the competition would just be who can trade the most. Have you all thought in terms of grabbing some of these? I know you all are in different locations, but everybody, we got a hood everywhere. There's a hood there's hoods. I mean, and another thing I love about this is that this is global. So if you're listening, if you're in Africa or Europe or the Caribbean or down under or up above, you can do this. This company, unlike some, I mean, I've been involved in some, and I've been in network marketing for over 35 years. So, and so I've been in some where, it's limited. And even now you can't even take certain things into certain states, let alone certain countries. But those limitations are not here. There are absolutely no limitations. Am I correct?
Right. So go ahead, Megan.
Well, I was just going to add, when you're talking about the kids on the streets and things, they know more than we do. I mean, when you start thinking about Nipsey Hussle and people following him, he was already in the crypto space. So these young kids, I was reading an article about Little Baby, and he's probably one of the hottest rappers out here, but he already understands currencies. And so they're already doing it. It's just the rest of the world has to catch up, because these young people have figured out that we don't want to just work for 40 hours for the next 40 years and retire broke. So they're already figuring it out. They're already in the Forex market. They just don't have anybody to talk to. They don't know if anybody else is doing it or not. So as we come along, us seasoned folks come along, they're like, oh yeah, I already know. I already heard about it. It's just getting the older generation, you know what I mean, to really usher in that mindset of generational wealth and making it okay for our young people to explore and to start having these conversations. Reagan, did you want to jump in there? And I know Adrian does a Young Guns program, so go right ahead, Reagan.
Yeah, and then I'll pass it on. I know Jacob has to go in about 15 minutes because he's always doing a call. So he has a big team call. So I definitely want to hear from Jacob, because he's the wisdom in the group. We all have wisdom, but we love hearing from Jacob. He's been in the industry for so long. So my thing is, it's like when people are talking about this will be good for this person and it'll be good for this person, and why can't this group of people? Really, this is for everybody, and it really boils down to being educated about it, so being told about it. XtreamFX Global Academy is where opportunity meets preparation. We prepared for this years ago when we failed our board and other things that we were doing, but we were learning, gradually learning year after year after year to get to this point. So when the opportunity presented itself for us to be to have ownership and be the first all minority owned Forex and crypto company, we were prepared. So it's really just about planting the seed, telling everybody you know about it, because everyone can use this opportunity. And it boils down to fear when it comes to the money, because people will buy whatever they want to buy. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to an opportunity, they got to dissect it. They got to, Megan always says, throw salt over their shoulder, go. They have to do all this extra stuff when it just comes down to the fear of doing something new. So I always tell people, it's education. You're going to be learning. So take the fear away, because you have a whole community that's going to help you. And it's also a membership. It's a subscription-based business, like Netflix almost. Like if you don't like it over here, but you're going to love it over here, then you don't have to stay. So it's just taking a chance, getting out of your comfort zone. And then once people start grabbing a hold of it, then you can go out into the streets and you can show these people. But, we got to do it first. People that we're sharing it with, they have to do it first, because people will have all these ideas of wanting to help everyone else when they haven't helped themselves yet. So, we always talk about putting our mask on first, because this opportunity is already changing lives. It's going to change so many more lives as people are able to have money to do the outreach that they say that they want to do. So pass it to Jacob, because I want to hear from Jacob.
Oh,
I know he has something great to say.
Well, you know, I'm a student at all times whenever you guys are speaking. But Reagan, you led right into what I was just thinking, guys. What I did, I went out and just grabbed my family because I'm the leader of the family of my household. And here I am in this space. Matter of fact, March 24th will be a year that my daughter signed me up to get into this Forex business. Okay. And a year later, now, less than a year later, 11 months later, here I am part owner in a foreign exchange company, along with these 4 beautiful people right here on this line. I mean, 3 beautiful people, including you two, Dr. G. So you was the 4th one, Dr. G. But with these guys on the line, but here's the thing, guys. I just went and grabbed my family. When I have somebody like Adrian Dynamite Sloan, you know, hey man, you need to get in here. You need to learn how to trade. You need to get in every single day. So now I'm jumping on his calls, calling him, asking him what I need to be doing because I can't get left behind. That's one thing. One thing about people, you can't leave nobody behind who don't want to be left behind. You can't do it no matter how you try. And one thing I can say about Adrian, now that he got it, he's wearing me out every day, man. You need to get this money, get on this line. And I'm jumping on his calls and not knowing, but he is breaking it down to a minute way of I'm getting it and really understanding this thing. So guys, if you're out there and you are someone like myself who was afraid of getting into this, don't be afraid. There's $7 trillion on the table. If you make $1 million a day, nobody still don't know who you are. $1 million a day. They like, what? They still don't even know who you are. But you making $1 million a day, guys. It's 7.3 or 4 or 5 trillion dollars on the table. So I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'm telling you, I'm learning so much by hearing my brother over there break this thing down. Him and Megan and Reagan be having these conversations. I'm just sitting there listening. They're like, what you think, Jacob? I don't even know what the heck y'all talking about. but now I'm knowing it, getting the language because I'm sneaking around and reading it. I'm on probably number 35 video. I'm watching the videos, guys, behind the scenes because I'm coming from the rear. I promise you guys, and I'm gonna be out there talking the language that you guys are talking here real soon, brother.
Yeah.
Adrian, I'm gonna make you proud, brother.
Man, you making me proud already, man. And guys, that's just what I'm so excited for Jacob because I was just like Jacob. You know, when I came into the industry, I didn't know. Like, we just gotta first say when you don't know. When you don't know, you don't know. And it's okay not to know. It's okay. It's just not okay to stay right there. Right. You know, that's the difference. You know what I mean? It's okay not to know, but you eventually got to move, you know? and so then when you got to, you know, yes, you get that feeling and you're like, I got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's right.
It turns into excuses, and excuses don't excuse anything
at all.
And so what has to happen is we have to take ownership and accountability, first of not knowing, then of making a decision to do. I said, because, you know, to decide is a decision. If you're going to win, you decided to. And I feel like staying broke is a decision. At this point in our life, it's a decision. If you're going to be uninformed financially, when you have a device in your phone, a device in your hand called a phone, and you have an app called Google that tells you whatever definition you want to know, it's a decision to stay uninformed. And so what we had to do was make a decision. I made a decision. So going back, Dr. G, to your statement about, you know, the different hoods. Like I came up, but I'm from Newark. Come on, I'm a brick city baby. I came in one of the biggest hoods out in the world. People didn't even like to go to Newark Airport. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't y'all be talking about my city. Don't y'all laughing too hard. Don't do that.
Penn Station.
So
Penn Station.
I'm a brick city baby. Then I moved to North Carolina and Salisbury, which is a rough city too. And so it's rough hoods everywhere. But I came up in an environment where some of the people in those neighborhoods were some of the smartest people I ever met in my life. You know what I mean? I learned some of the most wisdom out of some of those hoods, right? Because it is a community of well-informed, intelligent people, right? Who just need more information to apply. And so that's why I feel like it's powerful for us, you know what I mean? As African Americans and the folks that who we are, who we stand for, this Black and brown nation that we are, guys, we have to learn. And I agree with Reagan and it starts in your home, and you apply it to those. And that's why I'm so proud of Jacob, because Jacob, I had a Young Guns call. Jacob had his wife on, had his kids on. Jacob said, I'm learning with the kids. I'm getting on with the kids.
Absolutely.
And so he hopped on and he started learning, because that's beautiful to me. Because my brother admitted, like, I don't know, Sloan, we making money, but I don't know. But guess what? He decided not to stay right there. See, that was the most powerful thing to me. You know, he made a decision to move in a direction to learn. And so this is why we got to help ourselves, right? If it's something going with a plane, they say, put your jacket on first, right? You got to save yourself. Then you save your household. You follow me? Get them. My daughter's 15. She trade. My son's 16. Like, he trade. Like, you got to save them first. And then you become an example of that conversation. Then you can go outside of your house and you can start saving the nation. You follow me? And this is why I feel like it's so powerful that we have an opportunity for those of us who come out of different neighborhoods that's rough. Because I ain't scared to go back to mine. My face good. It's golden. And I can go back to that same neighborhood and stand on that same block and have this conversation like a Nipsey did. And like, you know, other cat like Jay Morrison did. You go up and study Jay Morrison, who's from New York. He does that. You know, he goes and teaches financial literacy in neighborhoods with white boys. And that's some stuff that I would do. I would stand on that same block and I would teach, you follow me, and give that information out there, because this information can go anywhere. But first of all, you can't be afraid. And it's not even about being afraid to take it to different type of people. Most people are afraid to admit that they don't know.
It's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? And then once we get past that fear of accepting that you don't know, then it becomes the courage to accept it and do something about it. And so I'm excited for our company for taking the courage to take information across the world and teach it in a simplistic format that we tell everybody. We don't even allow, going back to what Jacob was saying, is an Ivy League. We don't allow everybody to come here, because we'll never let a person, listen to me carefully, all y'all across the world, we'll never let a person come here and feel like just because they know more, make other people feel less. We're not going to do that, because this is an educational platform. So everybody comes here to learn. So just because one student knows more, don't make them better. You follow me? Just because one student knows less doesn't make they any less than. We got to grow in knowledge. And what I love about our common unity is we have large groups of people that reach out and they help each other. Guys, that's true global impact. And that's what I feel like with XtreamFX Academy. I think that's where we're making the biggest difference. It's not just about how much money we raising or how much money is paying out. I mean, that's well, that's great. Where a house is protected, it's healthy. But guys, what I really feel like is the biggest blessing that we have in our company is our common unity of how we have so many people across the world who don't mind helping each other. This is true impact. So we can make money or we can make impact. And we doing both. And so it's because of the help of this knowledge of all of our people, guys. And so I'm just happy that we got so many people who have accepted it. The Young Guns program is a program, I promise you, will be one of the best educational platforms in the world. I promise you that. And it's going to be something that's going to be well known, because this generation, listen to what it stands for. It's generation under new zeal. Going back to that information of Black and brown people being afraid of. People say guns are bad. Ain't nothing wrong with a gun. A gun is how you use it. But it's powerful. And this is what people are afraid of. Our children are powerful. People are afraid of Black people because we're powerful. But we're a generation under new zeal. The zeal is the knowledge, the information, the covering, the leadership. This next generation is a powerful generation. But as long as we give them the information and they're well informed, the stuff that this generation is going to do, it's going to put the past 2 and 3 generations to shame, because they're not going to work in the factories in the field for 20, 30 years. They're not going to do that. They're not going to be, talk to any type of way about people. They're not going to do that. Our generation will tell you off quick. This new generation, they'll tell you about yourself because they respect themselves enough. They're not going to let people belittle them. So we can give them the information and they already confident. Think about that. They already confident. If we give them more knowledge and they can go out and inform more people, that's generation under new zeal. That's the impact that we want our children to make. It's good to be powerful, but informed so that you can tell the next generation. So Dr. G, thank you for giving us opportunity to share this, because people need to hear the truth of what Extreme stands for.
How does one go about getting their young people? Well, some people are asking how they get involved. I'm looking at some of the comments, and of course I got my banners running at the bottom. You can always, follow that link there. But
I signed up already.
Darn it. Yeah, right under there. But say a person said, "Oh, I want to get my children, my young people involved." Does the parent have to be signed up first, or how does it work? Just for those who might be wondering.
Well, our enrollment process, I was whoever's on this call and invited you, you get back with them. And this is Dr. G's platform. So she has the information of, click that link at the bottom. And so once you get in there, it's no particular order, to be quite honest, whether the parent has to enroll or the child first. If the parent decide to enroll, then they can, right? They get registered, the membership option, they choose that to get inside the academy. They purchase that membership at $99 for the education. And then or if they want to build an organization, they pay the $124. We won't get into all the details. Everything comes with it. I'm just going to talk about the process. And so if they enroll, they can start there. The second thing of it is they want that child to get inside the academy. That child has to at least have the $99 membership because they have homework. They have a syllabus. They have things they have to do to go through. So they need to be able to log into the back office and go through that process. So whether it's the parent or the child, there's no particular order, but get with Dr. G, hit the link below, and then she can get you enrolled. We do have a free registration. A person can enroll, look around, and then pick their package, upgrade to the account that they want to have. Once they do so, and then I will say this, because for us, it's impact. If you got multiple children, we don't care if the children have to share a site, guys. We're not worrying about that, right? If you got 3, 4, 5 children in your household, listen, we want the children to learn, okay? So if your children need to share a site to get the knowledge, that's okay. Let's get them the information. And so as they start learning and growing, when they start growing their income, then they can start having different broker accounts and they can do more things. But let's start. Let's not allow money to stop us, right? From doing it. We done paid $99 for t-shirts and sneakers for kids. Come on now. And we talking about different after school programs and things like that. We've paid more than $99. See, in my mind, this is not a payment. It's an investment. This is not a payment. This is an investment. I pay $1,000 a month for my daughter to go to a private school. I changed her school and brought her to another school just to give her an opportunity to get a better education. And her grades came up and she won a state championship because I was willing to pay to get her a better opportunity. Does that make sense?
Invest. You invested in her.
I invested. I was willing to do that, make that investment, right? So you have to be willing to invest into yourself as an adult, first of all, to get your knowledge. And you have to be willing to invest into your child to get them to the next level, right? So it's an investment of $99 to get your child into the academy so they can learn. Then once we grow through that process, in 30 days, that child would be comprehensive to understand, then they can start making money in a live account. And we'll start them off on a demo with Monopoly money, so no risk, okay? Then we'll start allowing them to put $50 in the account, trade on it, $25, trade on it. That doesn't matter. We can get them starting small because what we want to teach them is the discipline. We want to learn the discipline of the strategy. It's not how much money they put in the account. It's do they respect the account and know how to grow it. Because I can start them with $1,000 and they got bad discipline, they're going to lose $1,000. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But I can start them with $50 and have the right discipline. We can grow it to $250. We can grow it to $1,000 with the right discipline. So in our academy, we teach leadership, we teach discipline, we teach respect. It's not just Forex because these are characteristics. We teach patience that a person has to learn in order to become a good trader. And this is what your child is going to have. So it's going to transfer to school, homework, athletics, cleaning up their room, doing their chores. Like it's going to transfer. These are transferable skills, right? So this is how they get involved, but it's definitely an investment for your child.
Thank you. Thank you. Megan, I'm not sure if it's something that you can talk about just yet, but I know that there's some other things that you're working on, that you all are working on that are about to roll out with regard to XtreamFX. Is there anything that you can share or?
Well, it's just our program, like Adrian said, is comprehensive. So when you start thinking about, I always tell people, keep this simple. If you get off this call and you're excited, but you don't quite know what you're excited about, because sometimes you do get a lot of information. But one thing you have to understand is we're a school, we're an academy in the network marketing space. So I tell people we're a school that teaches money with a referral program. We're also involved in social entrepreneurship because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And do you have enough money to actually where your cup's running over and you can share it with the next generations to come. So we're a school, we're an academy. We teach all types of financial literacy. We talk about taxes. We have people come in. We're not tax consultants or anything, but when you're looking at our platform as a whole, we really want to be able to teach people how to make money. I know Adrian says it, make money, grow money, be able to invest in the right places, and then also leave that generational wealth. We also, coming up, we are going to be partnering with some other social entrepreneurial endeavors so that we can really, truly impact our entire community. So we're excited about that. We'll be talking more about that in April. And then don't forget that we have a compensation plan. In our last program that we were in, everybody on this call, we did make a considerable amount of money in the network marketing space. And sometimes people say, the one at the top makes all the money. Dr. G, you've been in network marketing for 35 years, and it's not the one at the top that makes all the money. It's the one who is coachable, teachable, follows directions, and hustles the hardest. But it's not really about working hard. It's about following a system. So I always tell people, if you ever think about getting involved in a network marketing opportunity, make sure there's some kind of system set up, which we have a 777 system. We have 7 streams of income that you can tap into. The education, you could tap into our compensation plan. There's 7 different streams of income in there. And if you can follow 7 steps in 7 days, I tell people focus on adding an extra $500 to $1,000 to your income annually, right? Or monthly. And do that within your first 24 to 72 hours, 7 days. I tell people at the latest, follow our system so that you can start adding that income. And our referral program is $500 a month all the way to $1 million a month. And in our first week, we already had people at $500 to $50,000 a month in the program. That's not including what people make just being able to trade. So it's really just important to understand that we're just getting started.
Can you say that again, though? Can you say that? What in the first week you had? What I want to make sure folks
we
heard.
had individuals in our program at $500 a month all the way to $50,000 a month in the first 7 days, and we just keep it simple. And I tell people, kind of wax on, wax off. If you can follow directions and learn how to master the basics. Jacob talks about the basics a lot. Master the basics. Network marketing is the greatest industry on the planet if you know what you're doing, which most people do not. So we teach it every single day. We are very involved in our community, and Adrian does a checkup at night. You get on one of Jacob's calls. Jacob, I think, is the only one that can really get into you, and you don't feel offended by it, because he's like he can really tell you this, what you're not doing and get you to do. And you feel like, you're right, Jacob.
He's not old enough to be our grandpa, but it's less like your dad getting onto you and more like your grandpa. So you feel a little you feel bad and you're disappointed.
You feel disappointed.
I'm like, get him, go, Jake, go.
You are always rooting them on.
Go, Jake. Let's go.
I think it's wonderful, though, it's sort of like this, how you all kind of flow, the synastry, if you will, of your team. And that's always important. And it's interesting, looking in the back office and seeing all of the training. I mean, you get into the things that are there that are taught, like you said, are transferable to anything that you might be doing or wanting to do, endeavoring to do in the future. And I think that that's important. I wanted to say, Tanny's training, I thought was amazing on the colors and how, and I thought, that was something, in terms of, I thought a little bit about Myers-Briggs or something like that, but it was, people fit into certain, categories or archetypes or whatever you want to. And she had invested in that training and then was willing to share that, with everyone who was on the call, to give us the how to deal. And that's not just in dealing with XtreamFX, but in life, because, you need to, sometimes the person's rubbing you the wrong way. And it's just, you don't know how to deal with that color. And when we talk about color, we're not talking about ethnicity or not. We're talking about it almost just like like I said, the archetype of that person. We fall into certain categories. And when you don't know that, sometimes we get, our panties in a bunch, so to speak, over people when we don't have to be like that. They're just being themselves. They can't help it if they're red and you're green and,
Right.
yellow. So those kinds of, very, very invaluable teaching and training. And I want to say that I was, I took all kinds of notes and shot pictures of the screen and everything, because I thought, hey, this is good stuff. I'm going to start to see what colored people are that I'm dealing with. And then I was trying to figure out what I was. And, I was like, I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, we're usually, that's a great training. And we just have a star-studded lineup. Tanny, Zahara is Tanny's daughter. Zahara's 10, but Tanny teaches Spanish and she does it 7 days a week. And she was doing all these things before we even started Extreme for our community. So everybody was just really working for food.
I'm back again.
Uh-oh.
I'm so glad that you are on the call.
Uh-oh, Jacob is that. And let me mute.
Yeah, that's my other call, guys. I got to go get on that one.
Hi, Jacob. I'm like, what's going on?
That was me, guys. I got another 120 people.
We had me looking around like,
global sales. He's like in 15 different places at once.
And calls are 9 o'clock. Well, you must have, yes, an 8 o'clock call.
Yeah, I got about 120 people waiting me on that line. So let me get on that one.
Say thank you so much for lending you over to Office Hours with Dr. G. And tomorrow there'll be about 1,000 more folks that'll look at this. And so,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We appreciate
it. Thank you, founders. Look at this.
Oh, I need one. Oh, I like that.
Free advertisement, baby. Free advertisement.
Yes, sir. Jacob, I'll be on that call in just a moment.
Okay.
All right, Jacob.
Bye, Jacob.
Bye-bye.
All right, bro.
But definitely, we have our 11 o'clock training, which is a free training, millionaire mastermind training that we do. And believe it or not, we have calls going on almost every hour on the hour. People get so much value over here. So it's not just about making money. It's really about learning. And like you said, Tanny does our Spanish. Alameen does French 7 days a week. We have amazing traders. We have geared for the beginners. We have a new trader that just came on that trades upwards to $70 million accounts. He's really an expert in the field. He doesn't really need the money over here. I mean, everybody needs money, but he's not doing it for the money. He's doing it because he really wants to see people win. So Dr. G, everyone who's listening is going to be able to fit in somewhere and identify with the youngins or with the seniors or, beginning traders, intermediate, advanced. And then we have something for the marketers where, make the 500 to $1 million a month. And we have people over here doing some exceptional numbers when it comes to the marketing side of things. And we teach all of that.
Here's a question here from DeQuan Mason. Does one have to be a parent or guardian, or can I, as an uncle, introduce my nephews to this knowledge? So I apologize if y'all already covered this. No, we didn't cover that. That's a good question. He wants to know, does the parent have to get a child involved, or can you get your nephews, or involved?
You can definitely, anyone can sign up in the program. All you need is an email address and a username. Since we're in the decentralized space, you don't need like social security numbers. Education is for everyone. So I always say, obviously, you may want to just check with the parent and say, hey, I'm going to sign little Johnny up for the program so that he can learn. And it's going to be a monthly fee. But the great thing about our program is that come in here and learn. I tell people, if you can make $50 a day, you can make $100 a day. If you can make $100 a day, you can learn how to make $1,000 a day. It's what she did and was able to quit his job. And I'm not saying that's going to be everyone's experience, but the focus really is to come in and learn. And if you learn it, you can earn while you're over here as well.
I did want to add to that really quickly, if you don't mind, Dr. G.
Sure, go ahead.
Question, because, some kids, they have mentors and they have, just like him, he's an uncle, he's in that child's life and he really wants to see him win, it sounds like. So Adrian, if you can touch on that, because I know I've listened to you talk to parents and you've talked to grandparents, And it's just amazing how, you know, they really want to see their kids win and they want to introduce them to the opportunity. So I know you do that on a daily basis with talking to different parents and grandparents.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, again, going back to community, family. Like, you know, just because I ain't birth a child don't mean it's not mine. You know, it's a connection of love. It could be somebody in my neighborhood. You know, we got uncles and nieces and nephews and all across our community. We just all got to take the village approach. You know, and so we really want to raise a person up in a community. It doesn't have to come from who name is on the birth certificate. You know, it comes from, you know, I love you, I want to help you. You know, I'm inspired. I want to see you grow, right? And you put people in position to win. You know, that's what happened for me. It wasn't all my biological family that helped me win. It was people in my community, in my neighborhood, that put information in front of me, right? And then it becomes, and I ask the kids all the time, when I do a call for the children on Monday and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, and it's always, you know, open to the public. I usually post it on my Facebook page. They can come in because we want to keep the message out there. But I ask the children a question. And I asked him last night, I said, do you have the heart to learn? And that's a deep question, right? Because you have to have the heart and the mind to want to learn. And so we can have the heart, and it's twofold. Now, hear me closely. It's twofold. I can have the heart to want to help you, but do you have the heart to learn? You know, and then when you do that, you make them take accountability of it, because we don't want parents or uncles or anybody just investing money to a place just because, you want to give them that opportunity. I respect that. But we also teach the children to have accountability, that it is people investing in you who have a heart that loves you. But do you have the heart to learn and the mind to learn, to be accountable, to show that respect back to them? I just love our program, because we just get an opportunity to have a double mindset of homage. And I feel like in our community, sometimes that respect factor, even with our own children, get lost, right? And so I'm speaking to that. I'm another echo. I'm another voice in that child's ear, teaching them to love and to respect and to appreciate, right? Education, learning, people that's doing for you. And so, you know, I have those conversations with parents and uncles and all the time. And I've just got so many text messages and thank yous. So many people who have school systems, you know, so many people that directors of Boys and Girls Clubs or youth programs, and, you know, who want us to bring this type of message to their children because they have a heart for the community. And I've been teaching children for 15 years, 20 years. I've been working with young, entrepreneurs in my community. I just got an award, a couple weeks ago in my city for how many people I've helped. I didn't expect it, but I do it from my heart because I have a heart for that, right? And so we want our community to continue to have a heart to teach other people, guys. And I'm telling you, love is a wildfire. When it starts to spread and people connect and that energy and people appreciate what's going on, you can't stop a person that's excited from telling somebody else. You can't stop them because of the impact. You just can't stop them from talking about it because they feel good. We depressed and you don't want to talk, right? But you excited and you want to talk. And then I think Megan does a great job of teaching them once we get them the education. Megan does a good job of teaching them how to be distributors and how to put the message out there so that they can take that excitement and they can show other people. And she has a mastermind call where she teaches them how to build a marketing organization, which again is a skill set. Most people don't know how to do that, right? How many owners teach you how to maximize the compensation program? I'll wait. It ain't a whole lot, that's teaching you how to maximize all the money from the comp plan. We teach you every single day how to be excited and then know what to say with the excitement so that you can pass the message around and you can make more money for your family. So it's a beautiful situation how we have education and distribution coming together to bring all the wealth back into the household. But we're willing to open and talk to anybody who has that love that want to help their community. We're open to the conversation.
I think that's amazing. I just think that people that are, if you're listening and you are on the fence, if you've been thinking about what can I do, to increase my finances or to secure my future for myself and for my family members, and this I would say is something that's definitely worth looking into. And like I'm not sure which one, if you said it, whether Adrian or you or whether Jacob said it, but you can go in and check it out for free. You can and see what's there and see what you want, to purchase. I mean, sometimes when you go to sign up for something, the first thing they want is the finance from you. That's not the first thing. You sign up first and then you figure out what it is you want to, to invest in. And when you think in terms of here's me, I realized that for myself personally, that I have had many indulgences in life. You know how you look around, you got like, I got 42 pairs of sneakers and 1 pair of feet, and I got, 17 of this. And, I'm not to mention, like 100 plus pairs of jeans and 1 butt to put them on. And so you start to see of the things that you want, you have invested in. And most of the time it is a waste. Is stuff that, the tags are still on it or whatever. But when you can look at something like education and knowledge, and yes, it should have a price tag on it. And I'm thinking in terms of even with the young people in the school system, as it is evolving into less and less of something that looked like when I went to school. I've been out of school a long time. I graduated in 1973. So, but it doesn't look like it anymore. It's not something that you can, grab onto and say, and now I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a, whatever. Now you need to look at what can you learn? What did you come in? I always say, what was in your toolbox when you came here? A lot of times we ignore the toolbox and we go for whatever it is that somebody tells us that we ought to be doing. You know what I mean? We should be doing this or we should be doing that. And so that's the way we go with it. But here if you don't know how to open your toolbox, XtreamFX has a way of at least giving you an idea of what you might be able to do with once you find out what's in your toolbox. They say, what do you have in your wallet? What do you have in your toolbox? So what you're doing is bringing the education to people to help them be a better them based on who they are. Not trying to remake people. You're trying to enhance what they came with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things, if you already are financially secure, I hate to say this, but, to educators, but who cares about going to traditional school? I don't think it exists the way it did before. I don't think it ever will the way it does. So if children would be interested in learning as part of the Young Guns program, even though they're not learning, all of the history and the geography and all of those things, they're learning enough that they're learning more than they would have gotten, because now they're able to take care of themselves and their children's children. Isn't that what we're supposed to be able to do? We're supposed to be able to leave an inheritance. I'm a great grandmother, and I would love my grandchildren range from 33 to 2.
Now, Dr. G, don't get on and be telling them stories now.
I am not. My oldest son just turned 49. My older son.
Beautiful, Dr. G.
But I'm saying I've got great grandchildren, and so I'm thinking, how can, like, maybe my 10-year-old grandson, he probably would want to do this. This would be something, because he's on the computer. This is, I'm thinking it. Well, probably I've got some grown ones in there too, but I'm even thinking about my grown sons. They need to get involved in this. They have children. They have things that they need to be doing. And, if I have to get them started, then I have to get started. I'm just not going to, like I asked you a question, Megan. I said, am I going to have to do this every month? And you said, no, not if you follow the steps. You shouldn't have to do that.
Right. So, and just for all the listeners, we have a young program, but we're really a well-rounded opportunity. We started as a network marketing in the network marketing space. So when we started our own program, it's a difference between going into someone else's juice company, selling juices and pills and potions and lotions and weight loss, then going into your own program, and we could do whatever we want. I always say to people, like, we own the space. But when people come into our space, we teach them how to own a piece of extreme as well and make it what you want to make it. There are some people where they're really heavily focused on the gated community. If you know what I mean, they're focused on the individuals that are incarcerated. I know that there's a mother that I work with, and her son's incarcerated, and they gave him a life sentence, and he's going to be getting out pretty soon. So that's a blessing for her. But she actually put him in the program because he's interested in Forex. And he actually, I don't know, founders, if you know this, but he gets on the calls at 11 o'clock in the morning while he's in penitentiary and he listens and is able to take all those things in. And it's just a blessing. So it's not just a program for young people. It's really, if you're 5 years old or 105 or older, you can be in the program, and then you take advantage of the things that are most interesting to you. Some people want to come in and they just want to learn how to trade. Some people want to come in and they just want to make the money trading. So they get involved in the copy and paste side. You still need the education because you need to know what you're doing, but they may just be more interested in that right now money because they have some right now bills. So they're take some trades, make some money, 25 bucks, 50 bucks. I don't know how much people typically are making, because we don't ask the students, well, how much did you make today? Plus, we want to make sure that they're able to earn and learn. And then there are some people who just want to take advantage of the referral side of things, and they want to go out and find other students, find other adults who actually want to get involved in our business side of things and market education. And last thing, the great thing about our program is it's digital, Dr. G. So you've been in the industry for 35 years and you remember having a whole bunch of products. I got some now in my closet. You got all these products and weight loss and all these things that you had bought that you're trying to sell to people, and they may not necessarily believe they need that weight loss product, but everyone needs to be educated, and we're digital. Right. So when I bring you into the program, Dr. G, I give you my referral link. You sign up. You're in the program. There isn't waiting 2 weeks. You don't have to talk to any financial advisors. You don't have to take out any student loans on $99 a month. All you have to do is come in here and learn and focus on making enough money to stay in the program, or do what some of our young and seasoned folks do. They're making $500 to $50,000 a month referral on the referrals, getting paid every week, $125 a week, $250 a week, all the way up to $12,500 a week. And we did that in our first 7 days in our community.
As far as getting their compensation, how does that work? Especially since you're not taking, the traditional Social Security, EINs and stuff like that. How does a person get, how they get paid? I mean, I know, but can you explain?
Right. And we allow, you really get to control your own money, and we have tax people who come in if you want to talk to someone, because we're not tax advisors, but we want to make sure that we educate people on how they can get their money. So if you can come into our program using cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we're getting ready to add on some new coins. You can also take your money out that way. You can do the USD, you can do checks and things of that sort as well, but you just choose what works best for you when you're getting commissions. And then we have people who will advise you if you really want to talk to someone and you're not well-versed in the space of taxes or anything like that. Then we have people who will talk to you, like your typical network marketing companies on that side that, most of the founders or owners don't necessarily get involved in the tax side of things. But when you come into the program, speak to someone and figure out what works best for you and your household.
Okay. Yeah. So, what else should someone want to know who's looking at this as an opportunity? I mean, what else would be key from a standpoint of, say, for instance, how much time would one need to typically spend in a day or a weekly basis? Because that's always a consideration. How much time do I have to give over to this, even if you are telling me that I could potentially make $1 million a week? how much of my time people are going to say do I have to give?
Reagan usually answers that question.
I'm like, well,
double that, Greg.
Time is going to be different for everyone. So when someone asks me that question, well, how much time do I have to spend on this? You didn't ask it like that, Dr. G, but that's how that's my impression of them asking, well, how much time do I have to spend on it? I always ask them, well, how much do you want to earn? How much do you want to learn? What's your goal? So whenever I bring someone into the opportunity, I'm always asking them, what's your income goal? Do you want to learn how to trade? Do you want to master the skill set? Or do you want to, are you really super busy and maybe you want to take advantage of the market and just be able to, like we talked about, copy what our traders are doing. So that way I get an idea of what they're saying that they want to do. Then I can tell them, if you tell me you want to make $100,000 a month, then I'm going to tell you have to put some time into it. You're going to have to be dedicated. You're going to have a schedule. Even if you want to make, it's easy to get over here and make 500 to 1,000, 5,000 a month on our referral side just by following our simple system. And I mean, it could take you could get there in a week. So it's how much time they want to put in it. But really, I like to ask people questions and see what they want. And then I can tell them how much time it's going to take, because my schedule looks different from Megan's schedule, because I have a 2-year-old. We're all single parents on here, except for Jacob that was on here, but we're all single parents and all of our kids play sports. So for me, I have a 24-year-old that's gone off to California to be in the sun and be inspired because he's trading on his phone and he can do that. So I have my other kids here that I'm running them around. So I have to really set my schedule a certain way, where Megan's kids are a little bit older and one of them's, over here doing big things in Extreme and following in his mom's footsteps. So she has a little bit more time and she has a big goal. Like she's going to hit icon before everybody else. I'm sure of it, but she's going to grind to that icon. So her schedule is going to look different. Adrian has 15 other, no, he probably has 6 to 9. We lost count, other businesses. And he's a single father, running his businesses, running our money over here, doing 10 calls a day like Megan. So their schedule looks different from mine. So really it all depends on what you want out of the opportunity. But the great thing is, even on the trading side, we have the syllabus, the 8 days to trading. So you can get in the market in, like Adrian said, in 2 days, but you can really know what you're doing in 8 days. And then you're going to grow and you're going to get better and better. With our referral side, we have a 2-step system that I have everybody that comes in with me personally, I want them to follow. And it's good for me. Adrian and I created it. Megan has a 7-step strategy. So it's all about being systematic over here, because I know busy people like me that and Megan and Adrian, we have to set a schedule. So with our system that we have in place, it really condenses the time frame of how long it would take to do other things. We put this company, a global company, together with 30,000 people registered, upwards of 10,000 people. We paid out a lot of money and we fed a lot of families, and our community is just growing, and we did that in 30 days. So
yeah, I think that's amazing. That's the phenomenal part about this, because a lot of times it takes a lot of time, like takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of trial and error to really test out something. And you have companies that have been around longer that have experience or have let a lot of people down. You know what I mean? All of a sudden they just, didn't, couldn't, wouldn't, whatever it was, live up to what it was that they promised people. And so, and again, the fact that, melanated folks, that you all have created this is probably what excites me more than anything else. And I heard you say, one of you say a minority company, but we're not the minority. We are the majority. And I have to make that plain. And so, I mean, I'm not going to, it's like accepting the fact that you're less than, and we're not less than, because you're labeled a minority, but you are the majority of the people that cover the earth. Then we need to start calling us who we are. And we have
educated on this call.
We have to start saying it and doing it ourselves, because if we don't correct them, we accept the labels, then and the brands, then we'll continually be dragging that around like a ball and chain. And so I'm all about education, and I'm like the great Grammy on the line, so I get to lightly scold. I'm not scolding, but just to correct.
Educate.
No, that's perfect. We need that.
Well, while I'm doing it, I might as well go for broke. The other thing that and I know we're used to this because we always say this, but because you all are educators, you can accept this. I don't call I cannot call children kids because those are goats. And I know it's so easy to say it, but we don't have baby goats. We have children, and we have, we vacillate back and forth, but we've got to start, I'm real big into etymology and what words mean and so forth. So, so while you're, teaching them, Adrian, I heard you, saying children and so forth, but kids comes off so easy because we've been indoctrinated in that. And so we're in the educational space now, so we might as well tell people use the proper language, even about everything. And I think that's important.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Doc. We listen, we on the call with you, Grandma. Give it to us. I don't mind. Great granny. Any correction.
Yes, great. That's right. But it's all good. It's all love. And I just want folks to realize that this is a great opportunity. First, one, to learn, and then to earn. Oh, that rhymes. To learn and to earn and to pass that generational wealth. I'm just thinking, if you just do it yourself, how much you'd have to be able to help those family members that come knocking on the door. Teach them to fish. Don't give them a fish. Learn something and then teach them. I mean, it's not this knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, is transferable, right? So if your family members don't necessarily sign up, you could still teach them this information that you learn.
Absolutely. We always say, one of our mentors said, we're looking for leaders, not needers. I thought that was so hilarious, right? They always have some of our mentors that we pick things up from, but absolutely, we just have to be the leaders in our families. And a lot of times we have a lot of people with more of their hands out, and we need to give more hand ups. And it really is going to come from education. And we talk about, your hesitation and getting rich is oftentimes in your education. So we definitely are looking for leaders. I tell people we're looking for people with the whip appeal. Remember Babyface back in the day?
That whip appeal? Oh yeah, I remember that.
With the work ethic. We're looking for people who are hungry. Oftentimes people say, well, we can't make the horse drink. Well, if they're thirsty, they'll drink, right? Put a little salt in their water and they'll drink. And so you definitely we're looking for people who are hungry and who have integrity. That's the I, and who have personal power, because we all do. And I think the reason why that our program works so well, and we got the program off the ground so quickly, and people are just head spinning. And it's really because all four of us have our own superpowers, and we figured out how to make those superpowers work together for the good of the community. Sometimes I had to lay down my ego. Sometimes Adrian and I, we talk about it. We're like alphas, we're in the field and we're going. And then Reagan's over here like, hold on, let me jump in.
But that's synastry. That's that synastry that you all have. And that's that. I heard you say, I think you said it when you were in the airport about to I don't know whether you had arrived at your destination or where, but you were on the call for a bit before Tanny started, and you were saying, or I was listening to a video, but I heard you say, I'm the kind that will sit down in the same space for like 18 or 19 hours and be focused to do what it is that I have to do. And that's what a driven person does. That's what a person with, and I find myself sometimes doing that. But there's such a thing sometimes as fear of success. And, they say, be careful what you fear because you just might get it. And I did that, not too long ago with a company that I became a part of. And I was afraid for everything that you mentioned. I was like, oh my God, if I make too much, my Social Security is going to be affected. And I'm like, they're going to take $1 for every $2 that I go off. And no, I can't make $100,000 because I'll lose 20. And then I was like, how stupid do you sound? How stupid is that you would say that? And I'm right now, I'm like, went to the top of the company. So, but I was afraid to do that because, and a lot of people are afraid of success. No, they're not. No, they're afraid of failing. I was afraid of succeeding. And that's the difference. It's all right, I think, to be afraid of succeeding if it pushes you to try anyway. But if you're afraid in the opposite direction of failing, you will get what you're thinking about or what you're concerned about. So my thing was, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to lose 20. It didn't happen that way. And it didn't make sense to me logically that I would be afraid of losing 20 for 100.
Right.
But when it was first coming through my mind, if I had let that stay there right there, I would have been like, nope, can't do it. Because, they're going to take my, wouldn't have been my pension, but they'll take my Social Security. So what? And that's that's what we're saying here. Because there's also a way to, I believe, I don't know if you have it yet with the Visa cards or whatever. If people want to take like a Bitcoin or whatever and transfer it, Ethereum onto Visa, I guess would commission be able to be received that way, or is that in the works?
Yeah, so we're definitely working on just giving people options, because we also understand that because we're in the global space, some people are using crypto, some use fiat currency, some are using the different forms of cryptocurrency. So I'm just excited to see how our platform really evolves. I know Reagan deals a lot with making sure that we have those different options for our community. So we are working on having your traditional opportunities as well, where if you want to take your commission and you want to shift it to a Visa card, you can. We're 95% decentralized. That just means that you really do have the options. There are some platforms out there that will only let you deal in cryptocurrencies, but we want to give people the options to be able to control their money the way they want to control their money. And that's part of our platform, is when you come over here and you learn that you do have options. And I know with your community, Dr. G, and the More community, you deal a lot with different types of currencies. Is that right?
We just call it fiat, but most people are dealing with it. I'm a silver. I'm one person that deals a lot with silver, but most of the time, some of the people have declared their nationality. They've kind of relinquished. They don't use the Social Security number and all that. So when they go to look at an opportunity, I don't want to use that free what we call the straw. They don't want to use the straw. They don't want to use the SSN, and they may not have an EIN. And so it stops them a lot of times from participating in things that they would otherwise want to do. And so this one, they can figure it out. If they've got $1 million sitting there in crypto, they're going to figure out what they want to be called in order to get it. So, but they don't have to start out that way. So that's the important thing. The other thing, what was I going to ask you with regard to that? It'll come back to me. I'm 65 and 2/9, and so I can forget stuff, but it'll come back to me. But there, those kinds of things are things that people that stop folks sometimes from taking advantage of stuff. So I wanted to know. Oh yeah, here's the question. See, I told you we'd come back. It's just short-term memory loss. If someone already has Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they want to join us in XtreamFX Global, but would they be able to bring Bitcoin and Ethereum from their wallets over to this platform, or is that a good question?
Did you want to jump in, Rake?
Yes, so we do have different ways for them to enroll into the opportunity. So Bitcoin being one of those, so they can take their Bitcoin from their outside wallet, and they can transfer it over to our XtreamFX wallet. So I'm very big on verbiage, so I'm always, quick to tell people your outside wallet, your XtreamFX Bitcoin wallet, your XtreamFX Ethereum wallet, or USD wallet. So there's different ways to enroll into the company. And I had one person say, that sounds like a lot to do. And I'm like, we're on an educational platform again, so it's all in learning. And once we tell them and show them how to do it in step by step, then they're fine after that. And they have a sense of accomplishment, I think, once they've learned something new that simple. And then they see their money in their XtreamFX Bitcoin wallet because they've seen it somewhere else. Now it's in their back office in Extreme. Like, they get so excited about that. So we walk them through step by step, but we're looking at putting other coins on the platform as well. So we're really excited about that as well.
Great thing is also, Dr. G, is that when you do come into the program, I was really resistant on the crypto space about a year ago, wasn't it, Ray, when we were in there? And I was just like, man, I don't want to learn it. And there was a young lady who slowed me down and was like, it's really not that hard. It's almost harder to set up a bank account than it is to get into the crypto space these days. People could take their Cash App and send it for, from their crypto wallet from Cash App and pay for all types of things. Elon Musk put $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, and they're going to start accepting payments because they know something that we don't know. They're going to want to sell their goods and services to the public for their crypto, because when that crypto shoots up to $300,000 for one coin, they're going to be holding the bag. So what we do is we allow people to come in and use their cryptocurrencies if they want to pay for their services. But also, once you get into the platform, and when you start making a commission, you don't really have to do that again, because your money can be taken right from your USD, your Extreme USD wallet, and it could pay your membership. So our goal is, within your first 7 days, using Reagan's two-step process and the 7 steps that we have, get to at least $500 a month on the referral side, because then you make $125 a week. That's going to be more than enough to pay your membership every single month. And then you don't have to worry about going out of pocket. Make that initial investment in yourself and your learning. Come over here, follow directions, and let's add an extra 500, to 100,000 a month to your income.
I'm looking at a question here from First Eye Vision. Who are some of the, I'm not sure if this is in general or if they're asking with regard to XtreamFX, but who are some of the developers coding the blockchain and keeping it secured?
That's a really great question. And if you know anything about the blockchain, you know that with Bitcoin and, it's kind of like this mysterious world of technology. So you can't actually say that's one person controlling the whole blockchain, because that's not how it works. It's technology. And the great thing about the cryptocurrency space and the blockchain space is that there's no one person controlling that. That's peer-to-peer technology. And there are people who might mine different crypto coins. For example, a Bitcoin, there's only 21 million that can ever be mined. And I think about 18 million have already been mined, but it's going to take years and years and years for those other Bitcoins to be mined. But wouldn't you want to have at least one of them in your portfolio if it does go to 300,000 a month or $300,000 for that Bitcoin, or it goes to $1 million? So that's a really great question that person asked. And here's what I would suggest that everybody do. Spend a little bit of time just going to like 99bitcoins.com just to get a little bit of research on the crypto space. Look it up. I always tell people, Google the blockchain so you can really, truly understand. Go to our website. Our website is great for that information at the bottom. And the question is, what is the blockchain? And it's really a series. It's technology, and it's that peer-to-peer. So the great thing is when you have one person controlling it, that's when you have challenges, because greed is going to set in. Well, you don't have that when it comes to the crypto space and the blockchain space.
Well, I noticed that as I've been listening to various things, that the crypto, in the blockchain, I'm sorry, not crypto, but blockchain technology has basically is being used in a lot of different applications, not just crypto. Am I correct? I mean, they're using blockchain for lots of different applications.
One thing that I thought was really interesting, how you go to the doctor or the dentist, and it always seems to happen at the dentist office. You know how they have all those folders all over the place at the dentist office? And I was talking to one of the young ladies, and she said, well, we're moving all of our files on the blockchain. So they can literally move those files from one place to the next. We just think like enter it into a computer or whatever. But I was like, wow, that is really interesting. And I'm learning every day. None of us claim to know everything about the space. It's part of the reason why we're in the space, because we just go find people who know way more than what we know, and we bring them into our platform so that we can learn while we're inside of the platform. So blockchain is really, truly, ladies and gentlemen, when you get off of here, just Google it. Like, you have to read about where we're going. technology is running the world already. And before you know it, everything's going to be transmitted on the blockchain. So time to start.
Is that anything like, ACH that's been around for a minute? You know, we never heard about it, but it may have been around longer than when they started talking about making an ACH payment. Well, weren't the banks using ACH method, that type of technology long before they started saying to us, oh, you can make an ACH payment directly from your checking account or stuff like that. I mean, this a lot of the technology is older than, you know, the public is aware of. For instance,
and we're just going to move us into that space. I mean, think about it. We were uncomfortable when we went from, you know, bartering with our cows, and then we're moving into the gold that got too heavy, and then you start moving into the fiat space. And then think about how uncomfortable people were when we moved into plastic and credit cards. And then when we moved into online banking, and we still have some people who maybe don't know about Zelle and bank to bank right now, but those technologies have been around for many, many years. It's just the public catching up. And Dr. G, you know how we are sometimes. We look back and we're like, man, I didn't even know that was going on 20 years ago.
Right.
Developed that technology. And so what do you think they haven't rolled out the iPhone 35 yet, and it's probably already done.
It was probably the picture of Quetzalcoatl or whatever his name it has on it in his hand in the ancient Mayan pictures. Looks like he's in a spaceship with a cell phone in his hand, and his hands on the throttle of something. It's probably from way back then.
Right. Absolutely.
Question, Jerome. I'm gonna mess your name up. Please don't mean it, but Jerome Orum Miller Bay. What do you all think about the Pundi, P-U-I-N-D-I-X system for making purchases at physical vendors with crypto? I don't know. Do you all know what that is?
I'll Google it though in a second. So
I'm not sure what the brother's referring to there. I'll be transparent. I'm not sure what that is.
P-U-N-D-I-X system.
Interesting. But listen,
it sounds like he need to become one of our educators.
It says that it helps transform retail businesses with its blockchain-based point-of-sale solution. So basically, it's just another way for people to be able to transact business. And I just believe right now it says accept and sell Bitcoin free of volatility. So it's something there's so many different wallets, so many different new technologies popping up every single day. I was just on the call with one of Reagan's connections last night, and they're developing a major system with the blockchain. And I'm like, wow, it's called Pipeline, and they're going to be able to funnel, just like a staffing agency, they're going to be able to show you different opportunities in the entrepreneurial space, but they're doing blockchain technology. So I learned so much even yesterday about it. So definitely look into this.
See, Mother Kai, he says, we can be concerned about money. Let's put money into our own life / health insurance company to protect our melanin family with all the money earned. Learn to invest in the greatest wealth, health, less collab. Yes, I think when you have more, you can begin to do more collaborations. I mean, I have lots of thoughts about things I would love to do for the broader community. I mean, yes, we always want to do something for our biological family, our nuclear family. But then you think, if I could change the world, what would it be? Healthcare. Like, one of the things I would make sure, med beds for everybody. Every location would have a med bed. This technology has been around forever and ever. And, you can get in it and it'll regenerate cells and limbs and this. Everybody needs it. But what has kept us from it? Finances. And the knowledge that it existed. Excuse me. But now that we know these things, then we know where we can focus our investments, because you can't take it with you. So you might as well do the best with it, and you can leave it for your legacy. But while you have it, it does make sense to do something that's more altruistic, if you will, and philanthropic, as part of Megan, you are a philanthropist, so which means you give to causes, and so you know how that goes.
Right.
But we have to see now. To me, what we're going through now, you definitely, for me, it would be about a holistic healing. Some of those innovations that have been hidden from the world, I would invest in and make it available just free.
Well, and just
I do want to touch on that as well, Megan, if I can jump in really quick. I love that she talked about, wanting to help people out, to be knowledgeable about their health. That's a whole nother conversation, but, having the money to do that, and it kind of all goes back to the finances, having the money to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, make sure you're taking the right vitamins. And sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, Megan, but, I've had 3 open heart surgeries. So when I talk about the surgeries, it's all about, being able to get the care that you need, being able to take care of yourself, being able to go get those health checks. When I had 2 open heart surgeries as a kid, but I was an athlete like everybody else. And I was always like, oh yeah, I've had 2 open heart surgeries, no big deal. But just a couple of years ago, I had an aneurysm I didn't know about. And those are silent killers. So one thing that I wanted to do after I had my 3rd open heart surgery is to make sure that kids were getting checked out, because athletes are dying from sudden cardiac death. I wanted to make sure that people were able to know the test that they had to get done to see if they have an aneurysm in their heart, because you don't feel anything, but we need money to do that. So I was really excited. I created a Athletes Have Heart campaign, and also a part of an aortic dissection group of people who have had to have heart surgery because they've had aneurysms in their aorta. And it's all about awareness and education and knowledge. And then you want to, this lady, I think it was a lady, said that she wants to, be able to put money back into those things. Well, when you see a cause and then you have the money to really act on helping to bring that to society, because if someone would have told me about aneurysms and things like that, I would have had that knowledge to go get checked out. Like, okay, you don't feel anything, then I would go get checked out. So when we have the money and we're not stressed about our own finances, then that's when we really get creative, where we can start branching out. We can start making people aware of other things and doing philanthropy and giving back. So it all kind of comes back. My hashtag is broke the bands. I went from $12 an hour to a significant amount of income in our previous opportunity, just to flow into this one and have ownership now, where I can have the proper health care that I need because I've got my finances in order. So now I'm super excited and getting more creative to be able to want to give back, help people, make sure that people are aware of their health and aware of different things that are plaguing, us as a community and us as a society. So I love that that the person did comment about, healthcare and things like that.
And fund your own passions. If you want to save the whales, I always say you want to help people who have heart challenges. You want to help athletes. You want to help, the homeless. You need money to do that. So use our program to fund your own passions.
If you're making $1 million a month, you just on the one piece of the program, you can certainly fund a whole lot of passions and passions of other folks too. And, and I know how challenging it is when you have, my sister suffered an aneurysm. It was not an aorta aneurysm, but an aneurysm in the brain. And it suddenly, matter of fact, she just turned 61 yesterday, and she's been in a nursing home for the last 3 years, almost 4 years, after, suffering that aneurysm. And so it's just, I would love to have people like my sister not in a nursing home, or if they're in something that's more holistic and not just a place that keeps people, warehouses people. So there's all kinds of things that, and there's so much technology. Like I was saying, there are med beds out there that they have that you can put people in, and it regenerates every cell and muscle and even reverses the aging process. And it's been around. It's stuff that some of the people that we wonder why they haven't aged. And these are not us. These are the folks that see. Not all of them is that achrome stuff. some of it is because they have this technology that just rejuvenates them and keeps them, keeps them alive and kicking. When we say, I have a couple, one in particular, and I'm not going to name them because they listen to everything, but I'm wondering, why is he still alive? Not that, and look, but seriously, there's technology. And now the stuff is becoming more apparent to the masses. And so with this opportunity, we can delve into that and more. We can bypass the educational system, because my big brother, Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey, always tells us that we were never meant to be educated. We were meant to receive erudite training. We were erudition. So education is for like animals and menial work. But here, erudition. And actually what you're providing is not so much education as it's erudite training. That's erudite. So look that up.
I'm already putting it in my notes.
Erudition. So because when you look at the Rockefeller plan for education, the Board of Education, I call it BORED, Board of Education, not BOARD. Our young people are bored of that because it has not fulfilled the needs, the individual needs of what our children need. They got the bell curve and all that stuff. You all are educators, and we don't. When you fit a system together, when you develop a system that doesn't include certain people and then try to make them measure up to it, that's an unfair disadvantage that you've created. But we're very intelligent, very creative, very enlightened beings, and with this opportunity, you have the opportunity to invest in your young people so that they can be the best that they can be without going through an educational system that was just designed to keep them at a certain menial level. But erudite, when they say erudite scholars, it's good to be upon this the August body of erudite scholars. So, it was very good to have you all on the show tonight. And I know we're going to cut it off because you have a call at 9:00.
Everybody is welcome to jump on, where we go over the entirety of the program on webinarnow.info, webinarnow.info.
Let me kind of jump that. Let me see if I can put something in here really quick. All right. It's webinarnow.info, and password is shark, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All capital.
Yeah. Password has 2 S's, dollar. Okay. All right. SHARK. All right. So I'm going to add this across right now. So did I do that right? Webinarnow.info.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's
did
correct.
A great job, Dr. G. I can't do that. You savvy.
I'm one of them old girls that knows how to use the computer. Look, how to use a pewter. You know how you hear the older people like, I can't use that pewter. If you would like to learn more, once we get off this call, please go to webinarnow.info, and the password is all caps SHARK, and then get back to me if you are somebody that is one of my regulars. Otherwise, get back to the person that told you about this. Please get on the call. And if these calls are every day, is it
every day at 2 and 9, and we do a free training at 11 a.m. Eastern on the same link.
Right, 2 and 9 p.m. Eastern. You can get on for the call. It's like that. This is the opportunity call, and then the training at 11 a.m. Eastern. Same website and same password. And I certainly hope that you all have enjoyed my guests as much as I have enjoyed having them here. We have learned a lot. I am so excited to be a part of the team. And when I say the team, I mean on the community, and to these great leaders and entrepreneurs, and the fact that they have achieved so much in such a small short amount of time is indicative of the future that that is what's ahead. And the fact that it includes from children to seniors and everybody in between it's all inclusive. It's exciting. Last words. We got 1 minute.
I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to say thank you so much, Dr. G. We appreciate the opportunity. Blessings upon you and your community. Keep serving the way that you're doing. You guys are doing a great job, and we look forward to serving with you more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm trying to jump on this Zoom at the same time, multitasking always. But Dr. G, thank you. I look forward to building just a great platform with you. So thank you for letting us into your family.
Thank you. Thank you all. And thank you for accepting me into the program. I'm glad to be part.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
All
right.
Until next
time. All right. See you guys on Friday. Not you all, but they know what I'm talking about. We'll be back on Friday. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Looks like we're going out without music, y'all. But thank you for tuning in. You know how sometimes my phone gets a little crazy, but this has been a great show. All right.
Dr. G. Really? Who's she?
Yeah, that's me.
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 Dr. G. Really? Who's she?
Yeah, that's me.